Hey guys, it's Jay the Vaping Guy. It's been a while since you've seen me here on YouTube. I've been busy doing some shows on Stick'em. I'm taking a little bit of a break and catching up on all my videos. So, the first video that I'm going to present to you is on the Darwin. If you haven't heard about this, God, who hasn't? This is a power regulated, this is a variable wattage device, as opposed to something like your lava tube, which is a variable voltage. Significant differences between a voltage regulated and a power regulated or wattage regulated is voltage, battery, atomizer voltage. If I change my atomizer, it's going to significantly change. So if I have 6 volts on a 4 volt, 4 ohm atomizer, it's going to vape just fine. If I have 6 volts, excuse me, on a 1.2, I'm going to burn the damn thing up. On a variable wattage, if I set this to where I end up generally staying is around about 9.5, 9.9 watts. If I put on a 1.2 ohm atomizer, it's going to change the voltage to give me that wattage. So I'm always going to have the same hit from the same juice. If I put on a 4 ohm addy, it's going to push the voltage all the way up as high as it needs to give me the 9.9 watts of flavor. So just it's once you've set it, you can forget about it. Hey, set it and forget it. I'm sure that's trademarked somewhere, so I'm probably going to get in trouble for using that, but oh, whatever. I'm going to put a couple drops in here. This thing almost always vapes like a champ. And I say almost always, there's only the one time when you're using this that it's not going to work. It's not going to work to the max, and that's when the battery dies. And I am that moron who, after a day and a half of using the thing unplugged, go, it's not working, and then I gotta wait about 20 minutes for the charge to catch up. So I generally try to keep it plugged in. If you ever see anybody, if you ever go on any of the Stick'em channels and you watch a host or any of the other Darwin owners vaping on cam, 9 times out of 10 you'll see that it's plugged in. It's not because it needs to always be plugged in. It's just you're at home, might as well leave it plugged in. Once it takes a full charge, it stops charging, and it doesn't have any issue. The other significant difference is this just uses a regulator. Simple, depending on whether you're using a linear regulator, sharing regulator, or you're using a regulator much like this fun one here. Switching regulator or linear regulator. Switching regulator basically takes a little burst and flips it around, a little burst flips it around until you've got, doesn't really matter. This actually calculates and does lots of maths, and I have opened this and I'll explain why I opened it. But inside of this, from about here to say from that space there all the way in, is nothing but electronics. And there's a little processor there. It's probably more powerful than what they used to get on the moon. And I'm not joking. To calculate everything. And it knows if you've got a faulty device, if you've got a faulty atomizer, and it'll, right here in this screen here, I'm going to unplug it just because it's hard to hold it up here. You will see there's a little device here. If you've got a problem with your atomizer, right there, that'll start flashing a little cigarette looking thingamajiggy. Error, line through it, don't do this. As you can see, it produces huge, huge vapor. When you're not using it, you want to turn it off, you close it, and dual protection. A, it is turned off. B, you can't get at the button anyways, and even if you can get at the button a little bit, until it hits a certain point, there you go, it goes off. Now, the newer ones, I do have one that was about one level back from the latest. The new ones, you've got a click point here, and a click point here, I believe. Mine has click open, click close. You can hear that. you know, the button here is just a piece of metal, and it's actually small. The button that the activation button is actually a small, tiny little button that's actually sitting about here, and this piece of brass clicks on it. You can see here better, and lights everything up. And I am using an extender on this. That's because I'm a dripper, and I'm a dumbass. I I told you I was going to tell you why I've opened this thing. I have opened this thing because there is one flaw in my mind. It's an irreparable flaw. There's no way around it. It is open, right there. That is a window in the device. It's where your scroll button is to control all the way up and all the way down. It goes all the way down to 4. Well, here I'll show you. It goes all the way down to 4.2 watts, and then it comes all the way back up to 12.7 watts. Back to 9.8. So you need to have that open. Problem is that's sitting right on top of the electronics, and I drip, and if I'm not paying attention, it'll drip and come run down, and next thing you know, it's flowing into the device. It has not shorted out, has not seized out, has not had anything go wrong with it. This thing was soaked. I did open this. I know I'm not probably supposed to. I've probably killed my warranty on that basis. Shucks. I opened it. There is a nice battery in there. Takes up probably from here down to just a little bit in because you get the section for the screws. Solid battery. Let's see if I can pull up what the battery life is on this, and it doesn't actually say. 1600 milliamp hour battery, which basically means you're looking at well over a day. And like I said, day and a half, unless you're an idiot. You think, hey, I've been vaping this for 2 days, off and on, because I play with all my other devices. It's like my little children. I don't want my BB to feel neglected. Don't want my lava tube to feel neglected. Couldn't give a good goddamn about my ego, but it only works. My shield only works for that. Speaking of shields, yeah, I've got a shield cone for the ego. Pretty cute. Speaking of shields, there is one really important thing. If you're a dripper like I am, and you don't want to do like I did and drip down there and possibly ruin it, you get yourself an extender. You get yourself a little extender, just like that. And onto that extender, you are going to put a cone. If you're buying this in the States, and I'm going to specify this because if you go down to the States, you're going to Inhaler. Shop.inhaler.com or www.inhaler.com. I'll put the link down below. At the same place, when you're in the States, the company that sells the Darwin will sell the drip shield. And it's a drip shield specifically designed to fit on this. If you're buying in Canada, like I do, the company that you buy from does have a drip shield, but it's a drip cone. And the catch being, the cone does not fit. So you need to go down to Inhaler or down to Empire Mods or any other place that's doing a drip shield, as long as it specifically says a shield and doesn't say you need an Ego type extender. If it says you need an Ego type extender, it's not for the Darwin. If it will take a 510 to 510 extender, just a straight up and down extender with no extra gizmos and gadgets, you're good to go. I didn't know. I made the mistake. Shucks darn. Well, you learn. So that's where I'm at. I use this thing. I've had this now. I got this. It was on my doorstep before the end of December, and we're now into March. I have used and loved this thing, and I continue to use and love this thing. It is a great little device. If you're buying in the States, I do believe the price is $245. If you're buying in Canada, I think it's $259. Again, go down to those information down below and find it. Is this worth $250? There are other devices that are in the same price range. Bar none, yes. I have had the opportunity to play with some of the other ones. I'm not going to name them all. And they're good. I honestly believe this is better. You know, it's you're gonna have the Ford versus Chevy conversation. That's what it comes down to. I'm a Ford guy. Sorry. Um, you can have your Chevy all day long, and if you're happy with Chevy, great. If you're not, come have a Ford. To me, it's a Ford. It is. It's not basic. It's you pay good money for a good device, and I'm sure that the people at Evolve are going to hate this next statement, but it's a fair statement to make. These have a history of breaking. 245 bucks, and it's going to break. Sorry, it's not going to break. There's a good chance it might break, at least on the older models. They release on what basically you can call like the Apple methodology. They release it when they find a bug, they fix it, they replace the ones that are returned because of that bug, and they reship. And if there's a new bug comes out, then they fix it and they ship it out. I got mine in December. But at this point in time, the likelihood is greatly dropping. Is there still going to be the odd one that's going to break for no apparent reason, or the battery connection is not going to? Any device is going to have that issue. Um, it does have it's well known for it, unfortunately, and it's time to get beyond that because these latest models and the ones you're going to get fresh online are going to be the latest version. So if you're online and you're seeing people say bad, 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 broken, this doesn't work, that doesn't work, this doesn't work, that doesn't work, be well aware that the people at Evolve are watching, listening, learning, and updating. So, there you are. I'm sitting at 12 minutes. That's the longest video that I've done in a while. Hey, it's the only video I've done in a while. So I'm Jay the Vaping Guy, signing off. You'll see a few more from me in the next little while, possibly just today.